Bridget, you're a widow with two wonderful children. My advice to you is put your own oxygen mask on first. You just have to get laid.
Hey, Michael. Thank you so much for your time today. We really, really appreciate it. And congrats on this film. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was very amusing at times, but also very serious and emotional. I got a lot more emotional than I thought I would. You know, last night here in Sydney, you had the Sydney premiere over at the Hoyts and the EQ. What was it like for you to be able to, you know, come halfway across the world and show this film that you've been working on for so long?
It's magic. Honestly, like it's a line from the film, it's magic. Because first of all, I've never been to Australia. So this is my first, oh my God. It's pretty dramatic, your country. Like it's wild. Yeah, a massive rainstorm happening. No, it's incredible to come because the thing that it reminds you of, like, because I've always felt quite connected to Australia in really weird ways. We have lots of friends who live here, never been. But you realize how, as far away as we are from like where we shot the film, Bridget just speaks to so many people. There was so much warmth at the premiere last night, and so much excitement. People who hadn't even seen the film yet were just like, "Ah, she's back!" You know, God, it's like she's welcome all around the world. It's pretty lovely.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm a big lover of film in general, and more so the methods and the effort that goes into doing certain scenes and shots. I noticed at the very beginning of the film, there's a scene where she's walking around her kitchen and it's a one shot.
Yeah.
And you've got many other characters coming in and out as the camera moves around. I would love to know, was that something that was done in the moment or was it a little bit done in post? How was that done on the day?
I'm first of all just so happy that you asked me that. Because yeah, that's one of my favorite shots in the film. And it was very much something that had been planned. So that scene, for if your listeners haven't seen it, there's a scene in the beginning where Bridget is sort of recalling all the advice that she's gotten over the years from close friends and family about how to handle her feelings, how to feel about grief, how to feel, what to do next. And that could conventionally be told in a montage, clips of people telling her things. It was very important to me that like these kind of memories is just how she lives in her real actual life. So the way it was staged was she's just cleaning up the kitchen, pouring herself a glass of wine, just going about her stuff. And she'll walk past people speaking or she'll discover them in a reflection. So to answer your question, it was all live. It was a single shot. We did it for the whole day. We rehearsed in the morning and we shot, I want to say about 10 takes, of which I think we used the second. But it was pretty fun. Like there should have been a behind the scenes. Maybe there was a behind the scenes crew because what you're actually getting is all these wonderful actors, like some hiding under the table, some like squeezed up against the side of the fridge. And then as the camera comes past, running into position and then pretending they've been there all day. It was really a fun challenge.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like as you were explaining that, like
You can imagine it.
as I was watching it, I was envisioning people hiding under tables and behind the camera and being shoved into one scene and taken out the next. It was really fun.
How we did it, yeah.
I did mention that the film is very emotional, and I feel like there's many messages in there about love and about grief and how important friends and family can be as well. If there's one message that you hope stays with audiences after they see this film, what do you hope that would be?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, I'm not in the business really of. I never want to tell people what to feel because I think the point of any art, whether it's a book or a song or a poem, is just to put something out there. Do you know what I mean? To like, I want to invite you into this experience, and then if you draw something from it that's different from me, that's brilliant. But I will answer your question because I mean, there's something that I take from it, which is like, look, even Bridget, who's so upbeat and warm and positive, like even she gets hit by life sometimes, and even she goes through some of the hard stuff that we all are going to go through. We know it. We don't talk about it that much, but we know that grief is around the corner somehow. And so I think it's like when things get a bit too much, at the beginning of the film, she doesn't want to leave her kitchen. She says she's fine when she's not. That we can learn, we can approach grief like openly. We can look to the future while also keeping the past in our minds and our hearts. And, and I think it's not something we talk about that much, but seeing it might help people kind of access it.
Yeah, absolutely. And being that it was the fourth film in the franchise, what were some of the methods that you had in mind to keep it sort of fresh and unique, but still having that same feel that fans have known for all these years?
it's really important that actually is it to me, because I wanted to make something that was a film. You know, I didn't want it to be an installment. I wanted it to be both an installment and its own movie, you know, with its own personality. So there are some technical things that were really important in the making of this film. For instance, a lot of the film is handheld, meaning that we are holding the camera on the shoulder. And what that does is it to me anyway, it like brings a sort of realism to just the feel of the film. And it also made my brilliant cinematographer also was a camera operator, and the camera was often literally at Bridget's head height, you know, so that our feeling of it was always like connected, real intimacy with Renée's character, and I think that's perhaps a different approach than studio comedies often are, more formal than that, and I wanted to make sure that there was as much of that kind of real life freshness in this presentation of Bridget, because I knew that we were going to go to some places that the others haven't wanted to go.
Absolutely. There was like I said, many points during the film where I was very emotional, and for me it was seeing her son slowly dealing with the fact that his dad's no longer around. It really hit me. Is there a certain point in the film for you, a certain aspect of it that really does that for you?
Yeah, there's a couple of moments in it, and I don't want to like get into too much because I might spoil it for somebody, because I do really want people to go on the ride of this film. There's an emotional journey, but there's a scene. It was a very important scene just visually. Sometimes as a director, like you start with an image. Sometimes you start with a feeling. But the image of the family out on the heath releasing balloons in a movie about letting go, I knew I wanted to literalize that, like, and actually have them let go. And there's a couple of shots in there which they trigger me a bit too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, mate, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it. And again, this film is absolutely incredible. So
Thank you so
congrats.
much. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
No worries.
Lovely to talk to you.